Come on.
30 seconds.
Come on.
Let's go up.
Come on.
He's giving up.
He's giving up.
Ain't no timeout.
He's giving up.
It's over.
Ain't no timeout.
Ain't no timeout.
Ain't no timeout.
It's
Timeout in
over.
boxing. Ain't no timeout in
Ain't no
boxing.
timeout.
He won.
Ain't no timeout.
Ain't no timeout in boxing.
He quit.
He quit. What's going on?
Like trying to be
With the win. Yo.
We should never hear from the Island Boys ever
Again.
I'm starting to wonder what's worse, how they stayed relevant as long as they did, or how Hawk Tuah became famous altogether. There's a lot of these people who have somehow been relevant out here on the internet, and it's for things that just don't make any sense. The Island Boys literally got famous for not being able to perform, for actually having bad voices. They couldn't sing. Their stupid song about the Island Boys is literally one of the worst tracks viewed of all time, and yet somehow they actually got to perform concerts and make money off of ticket sales, to go out there and shit the bed every time they got on stage and get booed like they were at the Apollo. It just really doesn't make sense to me. Like, I was gonna say grind my gears, but that felt really cringy in the moment, so I didn't want to say that. But I just don't get how these people make it out here. And then they got so desperate they were hanging out with Jack Douchery, and then they got so desperate after that that they started making out and having sex with one another. I mean, for content, only fansing it up. They were out here doing dirtier stuff than Bonnie Blue. It depends on how you look at it, but to me it was just as sick and diabolical, because it's like, damn, this is beyond The Hills Have Eyes. And then you got the never mind, I'm not going to talk about anyone's children, but let's just say that that kid looks a little unorthodox, and I pray for its safety and health going forward, because my goodness, to be raised by such incompetent adults, people who, for whatever reason, you would think like they're all tatted up around the face, that somebody would look at them as a threat. Like, oh my God, they seem dangerous, not knowing that you can absolutely whoop their ass. No hands to save their lives. Like, if they were going to fight collectively, the Island Boys versus the mannequin and the punching bag, I would choose the mannequin and the punching bag every time, because they are that terrible at fighting. Now, I know we only got to see one of the Island Bros fight, but I guarantee you they're one of the same. Twins don't fall very far from the tree when it comes to talent, skills, everything there is. They're basically the same person. So if one sucks ass, the other one sucks ass. And we all know that to be true. And the fact that he had this terrible performance. He lost to Charleston White, a 48-year-old man with a pop belly and a false eye, and he couldn't beat him in a fight. He couldn't take him the distance. This man literally tapped out and called for timeout in the middle of the fight. Oh my God. I cannot believe that was real. Absolutely no threat to anyone there is. This person literally couldn't beat up a sock puppet. That is horrible. No hands, no punching power. He couldn't even pressure the old man. Charleston White only got tired because he was just throwing more punches. And he actually was moving this man. This man got slammed by Charleston White. Put down on the mat. Put down. Like he was a rag doll. This man was talking about maybe it was too much nicotine in the weed. You think? You think? Even if you were to go out there completely blowed and loaded up on shrooms, you should have been able to beat Charleston White. Hell, I mean, this celebrity boxing stuff, I'm pretty sure they made a nice penny off of it. How about this? I got a whole nother idea. I'll present this to you. How about you put me up against both of the Island Boys, and I guarantee you I'll knock out both of them by the end of the first round. Please, let's go ahead and put some money on the books for that. I would be down for that, Smoke. And hell, you didn't perform too far from where I live, so why not? Let's go ahead and set up another show. Come on, Aiden. Cough up the change. I'll definitely go out there and represent for Ran-DomU University. I'll do it with the merch on. I'll do it with whatever I need to go out there and collect that check and embarrass these losers a little bit more. I mean, I would. I'd love to do that. Boy, that sounds like a great time. But just to break down this fight a little bit. First off, when you look at the two fighters, you immediately start thinking, man, one really looks like he should beat the ass of the other, and it's not the one you're thinking about. You literally got Charleston White, the man who looks like the uncle who's just been drinking for weeks on end, who lives by the corner of the liquor store, and then you have the island boy, the guy who looks like a tough guy, the guy who has it all personified. He is about as much of a tough guy as the fake Lil Durk is actually Little Durk. That's where we are with this situation. All false advertisement, all lies. Like, this is complete nonsense to think that he's actually going to lose to this man with the pop belly, and he does convincingly. Like, immediately he starts throwing punches like he doesn't even have forearms. The man is throwing punches like he's a person who's missing half of his arms. There's no power to it. There's no legs. There's no drive. I mean, this is the kind of guy who will be talking about, I'm ready for all the smoke, and then you throw one jab and you break his face in two. I mean, he is one of those guys that if you just actually tested him, you would realize that he is weak as F. Now the fight continues to progress on for a while. It's a lot of clinching, it's a lot of hugging, it's a lot of Charleston throwing straights, and then the island boy just locks up because he tries to throw a couple punches, and it is just bad. It's really terrible to see this man try to throw punches, which he really doesn't throw a whole lot of anything. Hell, when you start to get to the end of the first round, Charleston White is literally standing around just taking his time to get air, but the island boy has been literally trying to get air from the beginning of the fight. This guy was gassed literally 15 seconds in. 15 seconds in, he was done. When he charged after Charleston at the very beginning of the fight and hugged him, that was it. He had nothing else. No more juice out of that first little initial set of punches that he threw. Gassed. Literally had nothing left. Charleston was still out there punching and still connecting and moving this guy. The fact that he was getting moved backwards like he was like a little kid. I mean, it was just sad. He really got onked out there. I mean, this was grown man strength versus little bitch style. This fight is just unbecoming of men. The fact that a younger man takes this kind of an L. Respect to the OGs out there, but you can't lose to Charleston White. As a person with 2 active arms and 2 active legs, I mean, supposedly an actual functioning brain in both of your eyes, you can't lose to a man who has a false eye and is about damn near 50 years old and doesn't work out. Literally, you cannot lose to this person, and you did. You lost. Then it carries on into the second round, and you didn't even finish the second round. This is only a 3-round fight, and there wasn't a whole lot of pressure being applied. There's a lot of just moving around the mat. Just a moving around the mat. I mean, it was just weird. And then he threw the most pathetic punches I've ever seen in my life. First of all, it didn't even look like punches. It looked like he was pawing at the man, like he was doggy paddling out of water. I don't know what you call that, but that's not fighting. And all I know is if you ever threw those punches in any other scenario outside of even just this arena, it would almost result in an immediate coma. I mean, because that is just leaving yourself completely open to the face, the dome, any type of just ridiculous Mortal Kombat combo that you can imagine. Just skull crunching and bone shattering. That's what that would be. That's what it would leave him open for. And I mean, as weak as this guy is, it wouldn't have taken much. I couldn't imagine if this was an MMA fight. If they allowed these people to kick and shit, dude, I mean, he would have been done in a matter of seconds. Not to only just run out of breath, like he would have been broken in 3 by the end of the first round by Charleston White. Like, there's some L's that you can take in life and it's acceptable. Like, you can walk away and be like, you know, I mean, dude, I'm going to be okay. But when you lose this kind of fight on a public forum in front of a lot of people, I just don't see how you go home and you don't feel so much shame that you just contemplate, what are you still doing? You know, like, what am I doing in my life? I have to make changes tomorrow. It can't be a week from now. It has to be now. As soon as I shower some of this shame off, because you can't shower all of it. I mean, that's going to stick with you. This is the kind of loss that sticks in the back of your brain. It's like losing the championship in something crucial when you're literally right there, a yard away, or, you know, some BS calls away, or somebody that robbed you of that opportunity. That's what that has to feel like. It's got to burn you up deep down. It has to cause you to want to change, cause you to think, oh my, there's got to be something else I can better in my life to where I'm not out here embarrassing myself like this. I'm a father now. This guy's a dad. No, the kid looks like an alien. That doesn't matter. He's still a father. And he needs to be a better representation for that child. Because that kid's going to grow up one day and be like, damn, my dad got his ass beat by a Popeye that's black, that isn't even strong and doesn't even eat spinach. This is like non-spinach eating Popeye. And he got served up by this dude. Like washed up Popeye too. The way this fight ended was just surreal. They were just circling each other on the mat. Completely gassed. Both of them. But it's like, how can you just tap out in the middle of the fight? He literally called for timeout. I still can't get over that. He just was like, he looked at Charleston and he was staring at him with that eye. Like he was strong. Like, I mean, he must have gave him the Sharingan. And then he decided, I can't do anymore. He must have got straight up Kakashi'd. And that's what happened to him. We just had no idea. We didn't see it because it was just like that. Charleston, got you. We see what you did to him, Charleston. Wild stuff out there. I mean, Itachi'd his ass. That is some good stuff. Classic finish. Classic. Fatality. Flawless victory. Just disappointing. But hilarious at the same time. But just so you can feel that moment again, that moment of triumph. They were so happy to see him win. And honestly, it made me happy to see him win. And I don't even like Charleston White.
Wait, what's